Hello all. So I got a new OBD2 scan tool, so I thought I'd do an overview of it. I'd go through all the options, show you what it's about and things like this in case you're looking for an OBD2 scan tool. And so this is going to be kind of long. There's going to be a lot of parts to it. I'm going to go through everything. If it's too long, just skip to the parts that you want to see and get an overview of whether or not this is a good scan tool for you. And so it's called the OTOFIX, and it's the OTOFIX D1 Lite. Show you some information here on the back. It says read and clear codes, which all scan tools should do. Live data, almost all scan tools are going to have that. Auto VIN, most scan tools have that. Connect seamlessly with AutoFix Cloud. That might be important to somebody working in a mechanic shop or something, but just an at-home, do-it-yourself type of person, I don't think that's going to be much difference. I don't think that's going to matter too much. Supports battery diagnostics with B1T Lite. Yeah, that's good to have. Reset steering angle sensor. Now that is a good one to have. Most scan tools can't do that. Reset oil and service lights and service intervals. Now that can be good to have, but quite often with these vehicles to reset those service lights, it's something like push a button on the dashboard and turn the key on and off 3 times or something like this. So it'll give you those steps to do that, but quite often it doesn't clear it automatically. Although this is going to depend on the vehicle because every vehicle is going to have a different software, a different computer. Even models like a Toyota Corolla or something like that, a 2006 is going to have a lot less options than a 2020 or 2023 Toyota Corolla. So basically what options are available is really going to vary. It's going to depend on the vehicle. And it also has reset electronic parking brake, perform force regeneration and adjust injectors, register and reset battery. And so that's a basic overview of it right here. I might get on the computer too and give you an overview of what it is, but first I might take it out and show you what's going on with it. I've already taken this out and I've already set it up and went through the whole setup process. But this is basically it. This is the unit right here. It's already got a little dusty here. You see all my fingerprints. I've already been using it. And this is the Bluetooth dongle that plugs into the OBD2 port. You're also going to get some power supply cables. It looks like you plug Cat 5 in directly into it if you needed to. It has built-in Wi-Fi though. There's USB-C, and so basically it has your adapters you can connect to and things like this. So I'm going to go and power this on for a minute. And there it goes, it's powered on. Like I said, this is going to be a long overview, so you could just skip to the part that you want to watch because everybody's not going to need the same thing from an OBD2 scan tool. If you just need to scan engine OBD2 codes and clear them, basically any low-cost OBD2 scan tool is going to be able to do that. But there is specific functions that you won't be able to do. So for example, ABS, the anti-lock braking system, most low-cost scan tools are not going to have that. SRS, steering wheel angles, transmission error codes from the transmission control module, things like this. Most low-cost scan tools are not going to have that. Even some high-end scan tools won't have a lot of options. They'll have certain options, so they'll be able to scan for transmission codes, but they won't be very good for the anti-lock braking system. So you even have to watch out for that. So like I said, skip to the part that you want. See if it's for you. If you're just looking for a scan tool to scan basic engine codes and clear them and things like this, just any low-cost OBD2 scan tool is going to be able to do that. And so the main menu, we're going to have diagnostics, you're going to have service, you're going to have settings, data manager, battery test, VCI manager, update, maxi view. And you have more over here. Let's see, support, remote desktop, maxi tools, quick link, and utilities. And let's go into utilities. Show you what's going on in here. You're going to have a camera. It won't be that great, but you will have one. You got a calendar. You got ES File Explorer. These are basically a lot of the tools that you'll have with like an Android tablet or Android smartphones and things like that. You got Chrome built in, so that's pretty good, especially if you want to like research a code for some reason. Like you got a code and you want to go look at the forums in a specific vehicle or something like that. It's great to be able to get online and be able to look that up. You're going to have gallery for your pictures and videos. You're going to have quick support, Adobe Acrobat, you got settings, you got screen recorder, You got a calculator. You can set up email and a clock. And so a lot of these I'm going to have to test when I'm in the vehicle, so I'll come back and do that. Hold down here from the top of the screen, and as you can see, there's Wi-Fi, there's Bluetooth, there's a flashlight. You can flip the screen, go into airplane mode, and here's the options down here. And let me show you the ports real fast here. So you got 2 USB ports. One port is for charging, and one's for connecting to a computer. And you have a micro SD card slot right there. Don't see anything over here. There's nothing over here. And that's basically it. And just to show you, it is really thin. It's a lot thinner than most other scan tools that you see out there. That is pretty nice. It has like a hard rubber going around it. So it's pretty good. Built pretty good. If you dropped it straight on a screen, it probably, that wouldn't be good. But I feel like if you dropped it like right here on the side, or on the bottom, it feels pretty sturdy, really. So it's built okay. So that's a basic overview of it right here. I'm gonna jump over to the computer, give you some more information on it, and then I'm gonna take it out to a vehicle and give you a basic overview of all these options. So I'll be back. So I jumped over on Amazon just to give you an overview of what it looks like online, the options it has and the features and things like this. And so as you can see, it's called the AutoFix D1 Lite 2023 bidirectional scan tool, Bluetooth, 2 years free update, 38 plus services, CAN FD, DOIP protocols, all system diagnosis, ABS bleeding, AutoVIN, VCA, SGW. Currently it's going for $319, although prices on these can change. So hopefully it's cost less by the time you're seeing this. And so let's see if we can't see what some other options are here. We got OE level, system diagnostics, bidirectional, and that can be very important because bidirectional scan tools talk back to the computer. Most low-cost scan tools can only read codes and display them to you, but bidirectional scan tools can send information back to the computer. So that's a big plus. 38 plus reset functions, fixing 99% of common problems. It's listing more options. Worldwide vehicles, 16 plus languages, 2 years free updating. And right here, bidirectional scan tool, active test, AutoFix D1 Lite, OBD2 scan tool can also command ECUs and monitor the operation of actuators to track down problems of certain parts like windows, sunroofs, wipers, fuel pumps, etc., saving repair time and trouble. This makes the AutoFix D1 Lite the most cost-effective bidirectional scan tool. So that can be very important when you go to troubleshoot something because you can send commands back to the computer. So having a bidirectional scan tool is a plus, and they are going to cost more. And right here we have 38 hot reset functions equipped with 38 reset functions in one. Scanner diagnostic tool allows you to troubleshoot 99% of common vehicle problems. And so which ones are there? They got right here, they have include oil reset, injector coating, throttle, DPF reset, SCR reset, gear learning, clutch learning, IMMO, suspension. Reset functions vary by model. And that is another thing that's very important, is just because the scan tool has a bidirectional feature in it and it can send commands back, or it has the function available to it to be able to do certain commands, it doesn't mean the vehicle has the software to be able to do it. So that's important, is that the vehicle itself has the capacity and the functions and the software in order to be able to take these commands, because if it's not there, then it won't be able to do it. There's a big difference between models of vehicles, years, and things like this, so definitely keep that in mind. And right here you have OE level full system diagnostics. Unlike the 2 system and 4 system diagnostic tools, the AutoFix scan tool can completely comprehensive system diagnostics within 5 minutes. It accesses and scans all available onboard systems for the engine: AT, ABS, EPP, BMS, TPMS. That could be a good one. TPMS sensors, SRS, IMMO, SAS, audio system, BCM, air conditioning, to read and clear codes, view live data, and check ECU information. And the unit itself is a 7-inch touchscreen. It has Android 9 OS. It has 2 64 gigabyte memory. So this means it has 2 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. It also has a 5800 milliamp battery, Wi-Fi. It has that VC1 Bluetooth dongle, so you're not wired directly to the USB port. You can walk around the vehicle, which is nice. And of course, it's going to work on all vehicles 1996 and 2023. Again, that's going to be any OBD2 scan tool. It's just some scan tools are going to have more features than others. And it works on all cars, American, Asian, European models. So let's go and scan down here. I'll glance over a little bit more. Bidirectional control, 2 years free update, 38 plus services and functions. We can scroll down. I could glance at some of the reviews just to see what's going on. Even though, as most people know, a lot of these reviews sometimes I think are fake. But we can take a look at them just to be sure. Do not buy if you intend to use in North America. Please read full review. Had an application question with my unit. Contacted OTOFIX technical support, and I found out my unit that I recycled was not intended for the U.S. market by serial number, and I was not eligible for warranty support if I needed it. I don't know what's going on with that guy. Mine's working fine. I'm in America. Let me see what else. There's one in Spanish. I received today, and I bought because somebody in YouTube mentioned the AutoFix Lite had the option to relearn crankshaft, but not the Elite model. Pro, yes. $589. I want return tomorrow and need get me this launch scanner $435, which has the option for crank position sensor. That can be an important feature. So if you do need that crank relearn option inside your scan tool, then I guess this one doesn't have it. I'll have to double check that. So I guess you need to get the Pro version if you do need that, which can be important. This is an excellent scan tool, a professional level diagnostic scan tool. No customer or tech support. Product not easy to use. No customer service. No tech support. Need a verification code from them. Never received it. So there's some of the reviews and things like this. Like I said, I don't always pay attention to those reviews since they could be made up or just people just don't know what they're doing. I'll put links down below for everything I'm looking at if you want to check that out and see what's going on with this scan tool. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go out to the vehicle. I'm just going to go through all the options. I'm going to show you what's going on with it. And so I'll be back. Okay, so I'm outside of a vehicle. I'm inside of a 2012 Toyota Corolla. I was hoping to get something a little newer, like a 2020 or something like that, but this is what I have available right now, so this is what I'm going to be using. And so I'm going to plug in the AutoFix OBD2 Bluetooth dongle into the port, which on this vehicle is right down here. Good. I'm going to go and put the key into the on position. And I'm going to jump over to the scan tool. And so first thing I'm going to go into diagnostics. And it's showing vehicle detected. It's showing the VIN. Select make. I'm going to pick Toyota. Enter VIN manually or tap to read to acquire VIN. It's already read it, so I'm just going to click down here, click OK. And it's asking with smart key or without smart key. This doesn't have one, so without. And it's pulling up all the information. Corolla 2012. I'm going to say yes. Seems like it's taking a little while. No, it went right in. Okay, so now we got diagnostics or vehicle profile. So I'm going to click diagnostics, auto scan, and it also has control unit. I'm going to go and do auto scan. There's no codes on this vehicle, I don't believe. It does have engine and ECT fault 3. So it's reading, it's doing a little diagnostics on it right now. It looks like it does have some kind of issue. This vehicle did have an evap problem, I believe it was. It had a purge valve that was bad, which was like a P0441, I want to say. But that was fixed. At least that's... So it's still pulling up a whole bunch of stuff. It's going through all these different things and testing them. It did find one thing here, the engine and ECT, it did find an error. So when you're doing this, if it does have an error, it's going to pop up. So you're going to see it over here. But if it passes, then you're not going to get a red like this. So it did pass everything else. It went through everything. But I do have an error right here. Let me see what this is. The ECU controls the fuel injection. Okay. Trouble codes. It's got trouble codes and live data. Let's go into trouble codes. And so this one has engine stall history, stability fault, and rough idle. That's a bit interesting. That's almost like a dirty throttle body or something, which is quite common with these Toyotas and other vehicles. It almost makes me believe that it's just the throttle body needs to be cleaned up. But I'm going to have to look more into that. But this is basically the codes that's on here right now. P1603, P1604, P1605. So I'm going to look more into that a little bit later. Let me go ahead and go back. And it also pulls up live data. Let me go ahead and start this. And we'll go into live data here. Oh yeah, so you can look and you automatically pulls up everything related to that startability problem and that stalling problem that I was talking about with those. So it automatically brings up all the related data. So you got the MAF sensor data, it's right here. You got your grams per second, which right now I could check, because basically with these MAF sensors, if you double up the idle, they should roughly double. So let me go ahead and double up this idle. Right now it's at 1 RPM. I'm going to double it up to 2, and I'm going to take it back down here. As you can see, this is right around 4. So if we double this RPM, roughly, I'm just going to get a close guesstimate right about there. This should double too, or pretty much get up there. So I'm up right there. That MAF sensor might need to be cleaned. Because right there I'm at almost 2,000 RPM. Right there I'm at 2,000, and it's running right around 6. If I let off, where does this thing go to? No, I guess it's okay. It's right around 3. That's roughly about where it needs to be. So it's not a MAF sensor issue. Vehicle load. Oh, we could even graph this. Let me go ahead and click on here. See what else. It's just listing all the things that might have an issue with. I'm going to check out the throttle position sensor right there too. I could graph that and see if there's a bad spot inside that throttle position sensor. Acceleration, warm up, distance. Let me go and do that with the throttle position sensor. Let me turn the engine off so it's not revving. Clicking the down arrow, and there's the graph, I believe. So basically, you just want to push down on this throttle position sensor. me go ahead and go back here. Yeah, I completely skipped out of all that. I'm going to have to play around more with these options. I'm not exactly sure which options are which here. But it's obviously nice to have that it pulls up all the related codes all the related components that were to that code to bring up. So the MAF sensor, which might cause something, if it's dirty, it could cause that kind of issue. The throttle position sensor, if it has a bad spot in it, when you go to rev up and down, if those throttle position sensors have like a bad spot, it can cause the idle to jump or different things like this. So you can map it out. Well, I need to start this engine. So you can map it out and see if, as it's going up, if there's a dead spot in it. But I'm just not clicking on the right thing when I did that. I thought I clicked on the graph. I'm gonna have to play around with that more, but these are the options right here. You can see if you click on that little arrow on which ones you want to look at. Wear map, distance cleared, fuel status, closed loop. It's gone into a closed loop. So all those O2 sensors are working good, at least the heater elements. Short-term fuel. Evap purge valve switching. Oxygen sensors. Air fuel ratio. There's those O2 sensors. Catalyst, bank 1. It shows you the temperature on the cat. So you could troubleshoot whether or not you got a bad catalytic converter. That's cool. Fuel system monitor. Misfire. I'm not going to read all of these off. I'm just scrolling through so you can see a lot of what's going on. There's a lot here. And this is all related because of the codes that were on here. So obviously you could go through and look at a lot more live data, which I'm going to keep going through here and show you a lot more options. And so those are basically the options there. Let me go back out to the main menu here. You have to come back and look at those codes. Sure you want to exit? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select service. And we have oil reset, EPB, which is parking brake, TPMS, BMS, brake bleed, after treatment, IMMO, immobilizer keys, injector, SAS, which is for airbags, suspension, throttle, wind DR roof, seats, odometer, language change. And so I'm going to check out this oil reset. Quite often what these do is they just give you the steps that you have to do. For example, you have to set like the odometer to like some kind of option, and then you have to turn the key on and off like 3 times or something like that. Here, I'm going to go into Toyota and I'll show you what I mean. This is very common with these. Automatic selection. Go ahead and read this, see if it just can't do it automatically. Okay, got it. And this is without smart key. So yes, that's correct. Taking a little while to go through this every single time. Hot functions. What is this? Manual oil reset. So what is this one? This one's a 1.8 liter. And so, yeah, this is basically what they mean by having this, is that they'll give you these steps that you have to do in order to turn those service lights off. So it doesn't do it automatically, but it gives you the steps, which is handy. But you can also Google these, so you don't need to buy this scan tool to be able to do this. because you basically can Google these and figure out the step that you need to do to reset that light. But it is handy to have, so you don't have to go research it. But just keep in mind that a lot of times you're not going to be able to just reset the light by pushing a button. Although again, it can vary. It's going to vary on the car and the vehicle and things like this. So let me go back out here. All right, now what we got here, we got the parking brake. Well, this one doesn't have electric parking brake. You got TPMS, Toyota. There's no TPMS light on, but let's see if it tells us the air pressure so we'd know which one it is. It kind of sucks having to go back through this read VIN every single time. I wish it just automatically remember that. Maybe there's an option in here and I just don't know what it is. Whoops. Establish communication. This is kind of annoying to have to do this every single time. But I guess if you're just looking at one thing, it wouldn't have to. You're not bouncing in and out. It wouldn't really matter that much. All right, let's check this out. This is going to give you options to test the thing. And I don't want to go through all those steps. Alright, I don't see anything inside of here then. Let me see. Let me go into diagnosis. Yeah, there we go. Tire pressure monitor. And there's not going to be no trouble codes. At least I don't think. Let me check. Nope, no trouble codes. But let's look at live data. And this should tell us what the tire pressure is on each tire. If you do get a TPMS light, let me see here. Give me the temperature of the tire. It's popping down a battery voltage now. Engine speed. So here's the tire pressure. And basically if you get a TPMS light, this is good, because if you get the TPMS light, you can come out and see what your tire pressure is and you'll know which one's low. So right now, this number 2 looks like it's running a little low. And maybe number 3, I should go around and probably check these tire pressures just to see what's going on. But that's pretty cool. You could go through. It does have that option inside of there, so that's very cool. Tire pressure monitor. Going to leave here. All right, let's go back out. And then we got, for the battery, Toyota. Read. Whoops, that's wrong. I'm gonna go back one without smart key. Yes. And you gotta wait like 20 seconds here every single time this does this, which is a little bit annoying. Go on the diagnosis, engine and ECT. The ECU controls the fuel injection. Yeah, we know. Trouble codes, live data. Let's go into live data. And so it's got a lot of basic stuff. MAP sensor, intake, engine runtime, throttle position sensor. It is nice, and it shows the battery voltage right there. It is nice that it pulls up all the related codes. I like that. You don't have to go, like, a lot of scan tools will just give you all the live data in some massive push out, but this one doesn't, which is very nice. So I'm gonna go back out. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna go into settings here to show you what's in here. You have unit, language, printing settings, notification center, auto update, vehicle list, battery test, system settings, and about. So it looks like you could change this from English to metric. I think I'm gonna go and put this on English. It's because the one I most commonly use. Got language, so it is on English. Got printing settings, printing via network. So if you want to print over the network, I guess you could do that. Notifications, auto update. So here's an update here. OS update, OTOFIX updates, vehicle update, vehicle list. I guess you could add in vehicles if you use them a lot. Sorry, excuse me. Battery test, system settings. You got a lot of system settings in here. You got network, internet, connected devices, apps. This is like the same thing like any Android tablet or cell phone. Storage, sound, security, location, accounts, system, about tablet, and you got about. And so next thing is going to be data manager. And right here we have vehicle history, you have workshop information, customer, image, PDF, review data, uninstall apps, data logging. There's nothing in there. Workshop information, customer. This looks like it's going to be a lot to do with if you're working in a shop. It looks like you can look at images. It's not going to be none. If you have a PDF, review data, uninstall apps, and data logging. And right here we have battery test and vehicle test. Guess I could try that out. Let's start this up. In vehicle test, software not installed. Out of vehicle test. Battery reset. I guess I need to install this software or something. I'm not sure what's up with that. I guess I'll have to look into that one. All right, battery VCI manager. So this is that Bluetooth dongle, and it's showing connected. You got different options in there for that. Here's the updates. I really haven't done much updating with this yet. It does seem, I think it did some, but it's just taken forever to do, so I've just been like letting it run in the background to do that. So I'm not 100% sure on what's going on with these updates, but I know that there's updates on it, and I think it's already gone through some updates, but that takes like forever, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Maxi viewer. And right here we have message. Network error, please connect the network. All right, so I'm not going to be able to do that one. We have support. You have remote desktop. All right, so let's go back. And go back into diagnostics again. Go back to Toyota. Got to go through this whole option again. I'm going to go and look at what other options there were in here that I might have missed. Without smart key. Establishing vehicle communication, still going. I have that plugged in. Alright, so vehicle profile. Let's go and click on this for a minute. Go back in the diagnose. Let's check out this control unit. Alright, so we got engine seat ECT, ABS, VSTRC, SRS airbag, combination meter, tire pressure monitor, main body, cruise control, EMPS, air conditioning, immobilizer, theft deterrent, accessory gateway, occupant detection. All right, let's go into the tire pressure monitor. And live data. And so there's all the data on that one. And I did skip it over to English now, so now we got 31 psi. These look to be a little bit low, especially this one. I might have to go check these. 36 psi. These should be around 35 psi, so they are a little low. I might have to go check those. Combination meter, EPMS, immobilizer, engine, and ECT. Trouble codes, live data. Calculate load, vehicle load, mass airflow, intake, atmosphere pressure, coolant temperature, engine speed, vehicle speed, engine runtime, throttle position sensor, throttle sensor voltage, throttle sensor 2 voltage, acceleration sensor 1 voltage, acceleration sensor 2 voltage, throttle motor duty, warm-up cycle, clear DDC, distance from DDC cleared, time after DDC cleared, battery voltage, fuel system status 1, fuel system status 2, short bank 1, long FT, ignition advance, evaporative emission, purge vacuum switching valve, current fuel type, glow indicator support, shift switch status, glow indicator, shift switch status, target, air fuel ratio, oxygen sensor, air fuel ratio sensor, oxygen sensor, catalyst bank temperature, bank 1 sensor 1, catalyst bank temperature, bank 1 sensor 2. And it is running hotter before, so that cat's good. Number of emissions DDC, complete parts monitor, fuel system monitor, misfire monitor, EGR VVT monitor, oxygen sensor, air fuel sensor, heater monitor, oxygen sensor monitoring, air conditioner monitor, second air conditioner monitor, evaporative emission monitor, heated catalyst monitor, EGR VVT monitor, oxygen sensor, air conditioner monitor 2, second air conditioning monitor 2, evaporative emission monitor 2, heated catalyst. I'm just going to scroll through these, and you can read them, see them here. There's a lot of options inside of here. Evaporative emissions, heated catalyst monitor, ENA, catalyst monitor, ENA. Second air monitor, evaporative emissions, runtime from mill on, power steering signal, stoplight switch. Like I said, I'm just going to scroll. There's no sense of me just reading these all. You could always pause it or skip ahead to wherever you think, for an option you think you might need in this live data. A lot of live data options inside of here. Some of these I'm not even exactly sure what they're for. Okay, all the way to the end. AF test results. Alright, so that's basically it. I just wanted to go over basically this little unit, give you an overview of what's going on with it, just to give you an idea whether or not it's a good unit for you or not. If I missed any options I should be looking at, let me know. Since I did have some different people pull up at different times and I had to take a break, so I wasn't able to just go through it like I wanted to. But so if there is something that I missed, let me know and I'll try to come back and I'll try to do it. But that's basically it. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.